Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Another day, another glorious day, and another bike review. Really pleased to say I'm on another Suzuki today, and this is a bike that is new for 2017. It's Suzuki's naked hooligan bike, out there to compete with the likes of the, I suppose, the Street Triple and things like the MT-09. This is the Suzuki GSXS750, and its kind of claim to fame is that it uses a power plant from the old GSXR750, which is a bit of a legendary bike. So I guess that's kind of a marketing-y way to make the bike seem even more of a hooligan. It certainly looks the part. It's got an aggressive stance to it, and in this red colour that this bike is, also comes in a blue, in the usual Suzuki blue. In this red colour, it looks absolutely great, I think. So stick around, stay tuned for the next few minutes, and I'll give you my first impressions review of the Suzuki GSXS750. Now, of course, I'm very used to riding the Street Triple, which is my ride of choice, so it's going to be very interesting to compare this, and there are some immediate differences, not least because the bike is quite different in a number of ways. First of all, unlike the MT-09 and the Street Triple, this is a four-cylinder machine, so the riding position is quite sporty in a similar way to those other competitor bikes, but it actually feels a lot wider. Where my knees are between this tank because of the four-cylinder engine, feels like my legs are splayed out. It's not uncomfortable by any means though, and actually means that you've got a good grip on the sides of the bike all the time, and it helps you out with controlling it because you can lean into the side of the tank. The seating position itself is quite sporty. Of course I'm upright, as you are all these nakeds these days, but my legs are tucked up, my knees are at an acute angle, less than 90 degrees, feels quite sporty. And in terms of its height, I'm 5'8" and I can get my feet down okay. I mean, I'm on not extreme tippy toe, but on the balls of my feet, if you like. It doesn't feel like I'm going to drop it at any time. So height-wise is absolutely fine for somebody of my height. Right, I'm not sure what route to take on this little ride, so I want to go and try and get a bit of everything in if I can. But what I would like to do is lose this traffic. So let's see if I can find some slightly better roads. Right, now I happen to know this road down here is particularly bumpy and potholed and terrible, so a great test for the suspension on the bike. And in terms of ride comfort, it looks like it's got a pretty thin seat, but actually it feels quite comfortable. It's nice and wide on your backside, and I can move around surprising amounts. Given it's like a single seat with a cowl, I can actually move forward and back quite a long way to just adjust the position of legs. So even if you're a taller person, I imagine you'd be okay on here. And the suspension, in terms of its ride quality on this bumpy old road, is pretty compliant actually. It's you know, I would say on the soft side. It's not wallowy in any way, but it's quite pleasant as a, you know, just as an everyday ride. It's not going to jar your fillings out. It feels a little softer than my Street Triple, let's put it that way. The mirrors on here are massive, but they work really well, and I'm not feeling any great turbulence off them. I mean, it's a naked bike, so I'm getting turbulence, you know, or wind blast generally, but I'm not getting any what I call dirty air coming at me. I'm not being buffeted around, so that's fine. I do love the sound of these four-cylinder bikes. I don't often get to ride four-cylinder machines. That's not through any great choice. It just happens to be that I don't own any personally. I've got a single, couple of twins and a triple. So four-cylinder is a bit of a novelty to me, and it always surprises me how buttery, silky smooth they are. I love that. And also they make this great noise that's a bit more, you know, high-pitched, a bit more Formula One. I do love that. Clutch on here is nice and light. Gearbox is beautiful, but then you'd expect that of a brand new bike. Because of that four-cylinder engine and the nature of it, the fact that it sort of wants to scream at you, it does egg you to go on, you know, at high speed all the time, which makes it a great fun bike, I have to say, but you do have to exercise a bit of self-control. Now, what's going on with this Honda? Clear behind. Handles very nicely through the twists. Great for these back roads. It also feels quite nice and light actually. This would be a fantastic commuter bike if you had a, you know, a reasonable length commute to do. So, you know, you're going on motorways and dual carriageways as well as through town. This would be perfect because you've got plenty of power for the motorway sections, and then it's light and nimble enough to punch your way through traffic. I do love this layout here, the dash and the switchgear. The switchgear all feels very good quality. This big button here marked mode, which looks really nicely made, is actually to change the traction control settings. It's exactly the same setup as on the V-Strom that I rode recently. Nothing particularly complicated about it. Everything's where you would imagine it should be, and there's no complexity there. Just that mode button, as I say, for the traction control. And then the dash itself, if dash is the right word, is I really like it actually. It's absolutely full of information. If I bring the camera closer, I mean, there's loads of stuff there, everything you need, and probably a few more besides. It's a little bit busy, I guess, but I suppose once you get used to what's where, very handy because everything's there at the same time. Right, what I need to do is lose the RAV4. I know we're coming up to a bit of straight road in a moment, and then find somewhere to show you around this beast. Oh, well, it certainly is a beautiful day for coming for a ride. And this is really is quite a comfortable bike. The riding position actually, although I said it's quite sporty because your legs are tucked up, it feels pretty much exactly the same as the Street Triple, I'd say. The handlebars seem about the same width. The way that the triangle between your hands, backside and feet are laid out feels very much like the Street Triple. And you can certainly ride that all day, so it's a familiar riding position. Just an unfamiliar sound with that 4-cylinder engine whining away. It's turbine smooth though, it's lovely. Sometimes one of the criticisms you hear about these sorts of engines is that because they are so smooth, they're almost too perfect and therefore maybe lack a bit of character and soul. I'm not so sure about that, I just think it's a nice engine. And as I say, this one has a very good pedigree coming from the old GSXR750. It's one of those days where you could just ride all day. It's just the best form of transport on a day like this. Brakes work really well. Let's just test the back. Yeah, back's pretty good. Front brake is particularly good. Right, let's come around this way. Yeah, she feels lovely on the corners. Excellent turning circle on this. And she does feel nice and light. Easy to find neutral, easy to find the stand. All good. Okay, here we are then. Suzuki GSXS750. Looks absolutely brilliant in this red. Now these sort of looks, because it's got that sort of Terminator type look, not Terminator, Transformer look I guess with this light, sometimes divide opinion, but I think this looks absolutely brilliant, particularly in the red. Anyway, let me get the other camera out and I'll give you a walk around, tell you about the specs. Right, there we go, hopefully you got a reasonable view of that. So here she is then. The engine actually is 749cc inline 4. Puts out 114 PS, as Suzuki annoyingly call it on their website. I don't know why they call it PS these days and not bhp, but that translates to 113 bhp at 10,500 rpm, so a lot higher revving than bikes I'm used to. Torque wise, 81 newton meters of torque at 9,000 rpm, so again at the top end. In terms of its fixtures and fittings, if you like, braking, let's have a look at the front here. Got these big wavy discs that look great, and it's gripped by Nissin calipers, and I say, seems to work really nicely. Fit and finish is lovely. Like the look of those front indicators. I actually like that front headlight as well, even though, as I say, it's kind of transformer-ish, and I know it splits opinion. Let's have a quick look at the switch gears. I say, all basic stuff, nothing complicated about it, all the usual stuff, and then you've got the mode selection over this side for your traction control, and there's massive mirrors that work a treat. Huge fuel tank on here, and we'll get to that in a second. In terms of suspension, the front's got these big gold upside down forks, look fantastic. They're 41mm KYB units on the front. Seat height, I said it felt relatively high. It's 820mm, so actually not that high, but when you combine that with the width of the bike, which feels wide, it does feel like a bit of a reach to the ground, but no problem at my 5'8", as I say. It's wet weight 213 kilograms, so quite a light bike. Tank capacity 16 litres or 3.5 UK gallons, and Suzuki reckon you'll get 57.6 miles per gallon out of this, so pretty useful range. Must be 200 miles out of a tank on this, which is a good range. Electronics wise, I mentioned it's got the traction control, which is 3-mode traction control. Of course, it's got ABS on it, as all Euro 4 bikes do these days, and it's also got Suzuki's low RPM assist. This is the thing that allows you to pull away without stalling if you don't give it enough beans, which is quite nice for new riders, I guess. And also it's got Suzuki's easy start system, which I'll try in a minute, where basically you just press the start button rather than having to hold it and the thing will start. On the road price, $7,699, so definitely at the lower end of the price compared to its competitors, so excellent value, and it certainly looks mean to me. I mean, it looks a big old chunky bike. I think you're getting a lot of bike here for your money, and well, I really like the way the thing looks. This red is fantastic. The finish on the paint, as usual, as is the case with Japanese bikes, absolutely beautiful. Okay, there she is then. That's enough chat. That's the spec. Let's jump back on, do some more riding. Okay, let's try this easy start system then. So, ignition on. Make sure we're in neutral, which we are, and then just press it, and away we go. Yeah, there we go. Very easy. Not that I ever noticed that holding the button was a problem before, but certainly it's always going to start. You're not going to press it and take your finger off too soon. So, nice little feature there, I guess. Right. Beautiful and smooth when you pull away. Let's go and find a slightly faster chunk of road so that I can see what the wind protection is like at a bit of speed. Just while we're on the way, just like to say thanks very much to the guys at Ford and Ellis for letting me borrow the bike once again. I've been riding a few Suzukis of late, and everyone's been a winner, I have to say. Nice bikes. I hadn't ridden many Suzukis for ages, and now getting back to know them again. Been very impressed. Looking forward to riding some more soon. So thanks to the Suzuki dealer in Chesham, as I say, Ford and Ellis, for letting me borrow the bikes. If you want to have a go on any of them, give them a ring. I'm sure they'll set you up with a test ride. Is it only me that looks for my reflection in windows when I'm on bikes? Oh yes. Looking very cool. How vain am I don't know. It's part of what biking's about though, isn't it? It just makes you feel good, especially when it's weather like this. It's just a great thing to do. All the benefits of cycling except more speed and no effort involved. Why would you not do motorcycling? Right, white van up ahead, just impeding progress, but we'll soon get rid of him hopefully. Just a quick detour before we get to the slightly faster road, just because it's such a lovely day and it's lovely down here. This is just coming to Little Missenden, and it is only a small place, but it's a beautiful village, as you'll see in a second. Love the sound this engine makes, fantastic. Well, check out the gorgeous Englishness, I think I might have just made that word up, of Little Missenden. What a splendid little place. Some beautiful little houses here, not all of them small I have to say, some of them pretty big, and some lovely pubs as well, I happen to know. The red line here on my left being one such. Oh, hello ladies, goodness me. Time of day to come through here. Where was I? Oh yeah, riding the bike review. Focus. Oh, when the sun is out you really can't beat Blighty. What a fab place to be able to ride around, just beautiful. Right, back to the slightly faster road then. There's my chance. It's definitely one of those bikes that needs a quick shifter. And she goes like stick if you want her to. Absolutely no no lack of power. Right, let me just come back to more reasonable speeds. Had to give her a quick blast while I had the chance. Goes really nicely. I mean, compared to things like my street triple, which obviously I know well, it's got just as much grunt, it goes just as fast. Really, really nice. And really smooth airflow as well off the front here. There's nothing causing turbulence riding along here. You could ride on here all day and you wouldn't be fatigued. Once you get at silly speeds, at sort of illegal speeds, then the wind force obviously gets quite strong on you and you have to sort of brace yourself, but that's the same with any naked bike. Love it, really impressed with this bike. Look at that, actual shitty bang bang. Brilliant. So as I roll into the yet another lovely old town of ye olde Amersham, splendid place where the sun's out too. That's pretty much it for my first impressions review of the Suzuki GSXS750. And no surprises to learn that I really do like this bike. If I was in the market for a naked hooligan bike, I mean, there's no doubt that, you know, people tend to think the market leaders are things like the MT-09 and the Street Triple. But this is up there with it as far as I'm concerned. It would be a very difficult choice. I mean, if you really want a four-cylinder bike as well, then this really is got to be the choice for you. Definitely give this one a ride. Great value machine, comfortable, goes really well, sounds lovely, mirrors work a treat, suspension's nice, looks really cool I think, and best of all, great value. Really, really nice bike from Suzuki once again. Really, really impressed with that. A little bit surprised because I didn't think that it was going to be up there. I've ridden the MT-09 and the Street Triple a lot of late, and I've got to know those bikes quite well. But this really is just as good. I mean, as I say, if you're in that market, do yourself a favour, test ride one of these as well, because you might be missing out on something you really love. Okay, hope that's been of some interest to you. Look forward to speaking to you next time. Until then, this has been the Mist and Fly. Cheerio. It's annoying because I really wanted to find something about this bike that I didn't like, but there's nothing about it that I can actually find that I can say isn't very good. The dash is nice, I think it looks great, it handles lovely, it feels nice when you're sat on it. There's nothing about this bike that I don't like, and that's annoying because I'm doing quite a lot of these bike reviews at the moment, and all these bikes are so darn good, it's really difficult to choose these days. Lucky old us, I guess, the motorcycle riding public. Just so many good bikes to choose from now. Hey ho, perhaps next time I'll find a bike I don't like. White van man. Oh man. White van man.